Hello, it's Alan from Man at YouTube and welcome to another modelling video. Today we'll be doing a full tutorial on post shading with the airbrush. It may seem difficult at first being an advanced technique, but once you have full control over your airbrush, including air source, paint mixture and the mechanism working, it's a lot easier than what most people make it out to be. Post shading is a technique to give a flat looking model or surface relief or definition. It's when you apply a shade of paint on top of an existing top coat to give it a many different type of effects such as worn or shadowing. Testing this out on an airfix tank, I colour in the panel with the white, giving it a very soft edge, and I pull the brush back and shade it out to help blend it with the background and foreground colours. Normally you'd have matching colours, but this is only practice for myself and a good demonstration for you guys. There is no correct or incorrect manner of using shading, but the idea is you want to bring out certain details. My goal was to bring out the panels on the side of this tank, and I'll show you in detail how to do it on a proper kit. Over 70% of this kit is transparent coloured, with a small percentage only flat white. If a black wash is applied, it's going to look fairly dirty, so we're going to be pre-shading white over a grey surface. The preparations of the parts primed and sprayed in light grey are already covered. It is mandatory for your airbrush to be in prime condition, and a thorough wash of any crusty paint or whatnot is definitely required. A good soak and clean should do the trick. Also make sure your nozzle and needle is in top condition. I'll be using Tamiya acrylics. Other brands and type of paint are also acceptable. Also Tamiya thinner will also be used. I'm using a ratio of 1 part thinner to 3 to 4 part paint, not to cause a splattering effect or have other problems. Make sure to both mix thoroughly from the top and use the bubble jet technique of putting a tissue in front of the nozzle and blasting it with air. Of course you want to test your mixture to not have any mistakes on your model. Draw some lines. You'll want a small line as possible with a very fluffy or soft edge. If there's any splattering or irregular shapes, you're going to need to recheck your mixture or the maintenance of your airbrush. Go through your standard airbrush troubleshooting procedures. After all this, you're ready for painting, and literally the hardest part is just done and the good fun is yet to begin. A quick before and after comparison. Here we have just a grey piece. And once I picked out the bits of detail very finely with an airbrush and a nice shade, we've got the secondary look. Now there is absolutely no rules about going around this besides colouring inside the line. You don't want to have anything spilling over the panel lines because that will be a bit weird. And of course colour can be anything that you desire. Of course the green with the white on top did look very strange, but this is all up to your choice and also how subtle or heavy you desire. The first example was very light on, but you can have a more heavier colouring around the panels for more of a weathering look. We can see here that all the details are picked out, but not looking absolutely fantastic. There's very few people out there that can actually freehand with an airbrush a perfect effect. But the next stage will fix that quite easily. With the paint in between the panels almost being blob-like, we want to blend it in with the background to create the perfect shadow effect. This can be achieved by pulling your brush back and lightly coating the entire surface with paint, watching it build up and blend and stopping when you're pleased. This technique can also be applied to small pieces. You may be able to only cover less detail, but everything else can be filled in with washes and inks later. Once done, a flat top coat will bring everything together, and this is the finished result. Of course, a little inking and weathering can be applied much later on in the game. This concludes my tutorial on post shading with an airbrush. Thank you for watching, and of course until next time, I hope this gives you guys a little more comfort in giving the style of airbrushing or finishing a model a go. Don't forget that this technique can be performed in many different manners across many different models and in different shades of colour or whatnot. Hope it helps, and catch you guys later.